Good morning, roller derby fans. Thank you for joining us for day 2 of Beast Brawl. That is the start of the whistle for the first game between Denver and Ark Valley. And it looks like that is Denver blasphemous as the first lead jammer of the day, but Shook Me All Night is not far behind. My name is Ultra Ego, and I will be here with you for game 1 this morning. Denver is going to call that off. I am going to go ahead and let you guys know who's playing for each team. For Denver, we have 028 Slam Track, 1472 Yeety Bird, 165 Beholder, 1810 Pirate Queen, 514 Butterscotch, 515 Be Nasty, 562 Cat Possible, 571 Locomotives, 614 Magician, 63 Red Rover, 666 Mad Dash, 696 Blasphemous, 727 Pickle Smack, 737 Savage Sunflower, The Captain, and 777 Gremlin. That is Tonka for Ark Valley. Out as lead jammer. Be Nasty still stuck in the pack there. Has a 3-wall at the front to get past, while Tonka is just hopping on past that outside line to get out. Be Nasty now out of the pack, is now eligible to score some points. I bet Tonka is going to come in, try to pick up some points before calling it. Tonka does call it. I don't think they were able to pick up any points. No, they were not. But they were able to get 4 on the pass before that. So that is a 4-0 jam in favor of Ark Valley. Ark Valley's roster is 1-1 Doom, 2-2 Virus, 2-4 Ravage, 2-5 Tonka, 3-0 Shook Me All Night, which is the captain, 3-7 Obsidian, 4-2 Nikita, 6-3 Killer Bee, 6-6 Track Sabbath, 7-1 Goose, and 8-8 Kiss of Death. We have Yeety Bird with the star for Denver and Shook Me All Night for Ark Valley. Yeety Bird up at the front of the pack while Shook Me All Night is working the inside line there. Just has a couple more to get by, but takes a little fall there and will get sucked back in to that 4-wall. We have Yeety Bird up at the front, is out, is lead jammer. Shook Me All Night not far behind, about a quarter of a track. This is the first matchup we are seeing of these two teams this weekend. Denver is going to call that after picking up 3 points. That brings the score 3-5 in favor of Ark Valley. Don't forget, folks, we have lots of derby coming at you today. Our next game is going to be at noon, and that is between Junction City and the Bolters. Then at 4 o'clock, we have Los Alamos versus Denver. And the last game of the day at 6 will be between Ark Valley and Boulder. Looks like we are calling an official time out here. So I would like to take some time to thank our sponsors. I'd like to send a huge thank you to Peitzer Productions. They specialize in dynamic, high-quality live video production, multi-camera setups, live graphics, and flawless live streaming. And let me tell you, folks, that is all true. They're here with us today. They are the whole reason we are coming to you live here on Twitch. So a huge thank you to Peitzer Productions and Ben. You have all been so amazing. Also like to send a big thank you to SAP's Nature Sports Drinks. Inspired by the idea of returning the electrolyte drink to its roots, SAP's is filled with 1,900 milligrams of electrolytes, no added sugar, and 20 different functional ingredients, including 3 key adaptogens to support cognition and inflammation. SAP's is the healthy electrolyte drink of the future with a perfect dose of the past. Thank you, folks, for being here with us this morning. Don't forget to shout out your favorite skaters, your favorite teams in the chat. These skaters will likely watch this video back to, analyze their skills and watch themselves play. And seeing chats always sends like a boost of confidence. So definitely shout out your favorite skaters. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Boulder County would like to thank Eldorado Natural Spring Water, Eldorado Springs' mission is to create a better life for their customers by providing high-quality natural spring water, fostering community engagement, and promoting sustainability. This commitment involves delivering the world's best water, investing in environmentally friendly practices like using recycled plastic and solar power, and they actively support local nonprofits and customers within their service area. If you guys didn't know, Boulder County Roller Derby is actually a nonprofit, a 501c3, and it is completely skater ran. So everything you're seeing here today, the whole production was put on by the skaters. So make sure to support us. You can find our links here on our Twitch page. So you can go and buy our merch, donate, whatever you feel that you can do to help us rolling. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Our officials for this game are Loud Llama, Whammed Off, Chameleon, Gluteus Catamus, Bill of Fights, Glidezilla, Zookeeper, Sonar, Moof, Lunchbox, Arson, Kiss Off, Primeval, Milf and Cookies, Lady J, Pandademic, Barking Spider, and Parks and Recs. Okay, that'll be them. I'm on screen. That is Ark Valley's Track Sabbath out as lead jammer, while Gremlin for Denver is headed to the box. So this is now a power jam for Ark Valley. Let's see how Ark Valley capitalizes on that. Some amazing offense there to get Track Sabbath in on the inside line. Denver is also down a blocker who is just now joining them on the track from the penalty box. Gremlin is standing in the box, but Track Sabbath said, I'm just going to skate on through, pick up 4 more points, making this an 8-point jam so far for Track Sabbath. Gremlin now heading back to the track. Track Sabbath taking a hit to the outside and is being recycled back. Gremlin looking to pass that to their pivot, while Track Sabbath is up at the front, taking a small fall there, getting recycled back, is going to call it off. That leaves Denver scoreless, and Track Sabbath picks up 10 points. That means Ark Valley is now extending their lead at 15-3. We have Blasphemous taking the line for Denver and Ravage for Ark Valley. The penalty box is clear, so we will be starting with a full pack for both teams. Blasphemous looking to follow one of her blockers through that pack, but is unable to. Ravage stuck with a 2-wall there in the back, taking a push to the outside line as Blasphemous finds room up at the front, gets out, is now lead jammer. Ravage still stuck on their initial, but found some room on the outside, is now eligible to score points. Blasphemous is in the infield, looking to score some points before Ravage comes around. Is going to call that. Let's see what Blasphemous is able to pick up 3 before calling that off, bringing the score 6-15. We have Be Nasty with the star for Denver and Tonka for Ark Valley. Both teams are starting with a blocker in the box. Be Nasty working the outside line while Tonka's just trying to find room right up the middle. Be Nasty just has a 2-wall at the front to get by, but it's Tonka who finds room on that inside line, is lead jammer, but Be Nasty hot on their tails, going to try to chase down Tonka. Denver Pivot has now rejoined the pack. Beautiful apex jump there from Tonka to pick up their points before calling it. That was a 4-0 jam in favor of Ark Valley. We have a Yeety Bird on the line for Denver. And for Arc Valley, we have Shook Me All Night. Arc Valley does still have one blocker in the box. That blocker is standing and is now able to rejoin the pack. Shook Me All Night, almost through, but is not. And it is Yeety Bird who is lead jammer. We have a Denver blocker heading to the box. Thank you. Shook Me All Night coming around for their first scoring pass, but Yeety Bird is not going to allow those points to be scored and is going to call it off. Yeety Bird able to pick up 4. Denver's going to look to probably slowly close this point gap by just getting lead, picking up a few points, and calling it. We were talking yesterday about how a lot of times roller derby isn't these big 20-point jams. It's actually these little 4-point jams that work as building blocks like Legos to put together to build the ultimate game. So, yes, those 20-point jams are very fun to watch, but these little 4-point jams are what actually makes roller derby roller derby. We have Track Sabbath with a star for Arc Valley, who is lead jammer, while Gremlin's still stuck in the pack trying to get out on their initial. Denver now has all 4 blockers on the track, while Track Sabbath stuck in the back, takes a hit to the inside. Gremlin now out and eligible to score points. Will they be able to score before they call it off? And they will not. Arc Valley calls that. They picked up 1 point. Makes a score 10-20 in favor of Arc Valley. We have Blasphemous with the star for Denver and Shook Me All Night for Arc Valley. Arc Valley is running with a very small bench, so keep that in mind, folks, when you see Arc Valley skaters out there on the track the whole time. That is because they have a short bench, so make sure to cheer them on and give them encouragement. That is Blasphemous from Denver out as the lead jammer. Shook Me All Night still stuck at the back of the pack, has a 2-wall to get through on the inside, is sucked to the back again. Wow, Blasphemous fighting against 1 at the front, is through, picks up 4 points. Arc Valley blocker heading back to the track after leaving the penalty box. We have 2 blockers from Denver in the box currently, and 1 from Arc Valley heading there as well. This seems to be a penalty-heavy game so far. They are going to call that after picking up 4 points, bringing the score 14-20 in favor of Arc Valley. That freezes 1 Arc Valley blocker and 1 Denver blocker in the box. And that is the Denver pivot in the box. We have B Nasty on the line for Denver and Tonka for Arc Valley. Both teams starting with 3 walls. Be Nasty looking to find some quick space on the outside line, but isn't able to. Tonka just running through there, making easy work of that 3-wall to secure lead jammer. Be Nasty still working on it. Took the star off, looking to maybe pass it, but is not able to as the pivot is in the box. Pivot is now out of the box and will be able to take that star from Be Nasty if they choose to. Be Nasty doesn't need it, though. Be Nasty found some room on the outside line, ran out of there, and is now eligible to pick up points. Tonka fighting one last one at the front, got through, picked up their 4 points, and calls it. We now have a 14-24 game in favor of Arc Valley. Thank you again, folks, for being here with us this morning. Don't forget to shout out your favorite skaters and teams and let them know that you were here supporting them. My name is Ultra Ego, and I'm happy to be here this morning with you talking about roller derby. We have Yeety Bird with the star for Denver and Track Sabbath for Arc Valley. Yeety Bird looking to follow their blocker, Magician, through that 3-wall. Has 2 more to get past in the front. Wow, Track Sabbath getting sucked to the back of the pack, and it is Yeety Bird who gets out and is lead jammer. Track Sabbath still stuck in the back there, has a tough 2-wall to get by. Yeety Bird just has that 3-wall in the front, is pushed to the outside, but stays in actually and is able to get through, picks up 4 points. This jam might be able to close that point gap between Denver and Ark Valley if Denver can continue to hold the jammers, and it looks like there was a star pass to Ravage. If they can hold Ravage while Yeety Bird continues to pick up points, this could turn the tide of the game for Denver. But Ravage does get through, is now eligible to score points. Yeety Bird is going to probably try to get some points before calling it, and does. Yeety Bird picks up 4 more points. That does bring our score 22-24. So Denver really did not like that point spread, and so they, wanted to come out, get a good jam in, and they did. We have Obsidian on the line for Ark Valley and Gremlin for Denver. Ark Valley is starting with 1 blocker in the box. That blocker is standing, though, so it'll be less than 10 seconds till they rejoin their pack. Gremlin fighting at the front with a 3-wall, while Obsidian is stuck in the back with a 4-wall of Denver blockers. That is Gremlin, who has picked up lead jammer. Gremlin coming into the pack. There was a star pass by Obsidian, and that is to Killer B. Killer B is now out. Gremlin is going to call that before Killer B is able to pick up any points. That is a 4-point jam for Denver, and that means that we have a lead change. Denver now leading this game 26-24. You can see them all cheering down there. They worked very hard to get that lead, and it does look like we are going to have a team timeout. It is Ark Valley taking a timeout, so I would like to take this time to thank some of our sponsors. Thank you so much to Hoplark. Hoplark is what happens when you brew tea like a craft beer. It's unexpected, yet surprisingly familiar. It's a new way to experience hops. They're bold, refreshing, and a bit unusual, which is precisely how we like it. And honestly, if you're here watching Derby, if you're in the Derby community, you are probably also a bit unusual. So this is probably right up your alley. Thank you so much also to Solana Studios. They're passionate about their community, and they love to adorn their clients and provide high-quality, hypoallergenic jewelry, and that is their jam. It can be permanent jewelry or fashion jewelry. They love to curate a look for you. You can check them out at their store, or if you're going to be in the area, come check us out here live today at the Boulder County Fairgrounds. They are here in the building with us. Make sure to support our sponsors because they support us. So thank you so much to Solana Studios. And that is the end of the timeout. Looks like we have Blasphemous for Denver and Shook Me All Night for Ark Valley. Shook Me All Night, trying to find room on that outside line, has 1 to get through, takes a hit but keeps going, is lead jammer. But Blasphemous not far behind. Blasphemous going to try to catch up to Shook Me All Night to try and pick up some points. Let's see what they do here. Shook Me All Night picks up their 4 points, calls the jam, but was Blasphemous able to pick any up? They were. That is a 3-point jam for Denver. So we do not have a lead change. It is Denver 29 to Ark Valley 28. Be Nasty taking the line for Denver. And it does look like the Ark Valley jammer is in the penalty box. So this will be a power jam for Denver. And we are taking an official timeout. Thank you, folks, for being here with us this morning. We cannot do anything without the support of our fans. So thank you for sharing your morning with us watching roller derby. I would like to thank some of our sponsors that keep us rolling. Thank you so much to Skate Rats. Skate Rats caters to roller derby and all other kind of skating needs. Their heart is based out of downtown Loveland, but they are also in the house here with us today if you're able to make it by. If you're not, they do ship worldwide, so definitely support your local skate shops and definitely Skate Rats because they support us and we appreciate that. Thank you so much to Bootstrap. Bootstrap Brewing is a kick-ass, independent, family-owned craft brewery here in Longmont. You'll find them making their highly drinkable and award-winning delicious craft beers. You can visit their tap room in Longmont for live music, trivia, karaoke, and I guess ukulele jam sessions as well. I've been there for trivia. We did not win. We actually lost pretty bad, but it was a lot of fun, great vibe. So definitely check out Bootstrap next time you are in Longmont. Okay, so it seems like there was some confusion. That was fixed. This is not a power jam. Tonka is taking the star for Arc Valley. Track Sabbath is in the box as a blocker. So Arc Valley is going to start with a pack disadvantage, but not a power jam, which is a good, I'm sure they will take a pack disadvantage over a power jam any day. Don't forget, if you are here supporting a specific skater or specific team, make sure to shout it out. Even if you're not, just let us know you're here supporting roller derby. Let us know where you are watching from. We would love to hear from you. Looks like there might still be some confusion. Nope, we just got the thumbs up, so we will be starting derby back here in just a second. That is the end of the timeout officially. 5 seconds till the next jam begins. Let's see how B Nasty capitalizes on this pack disadvantage because Track Sabbath is sitting the full 30 seconds in that box. Tonka has a tough four wall in the back. We've seen Tonka just bulldoze over these walls, but is having a tough time with this wall in particular, and it is B Nasty who is out as lead jammer, but there is a Denver blocker heading to the box, which will give Tonka that opportunity to bust through and be eligible to score points. And there it is. Tonka is through, is now eligible to score points, but B Nasty picked up 4 points, making this an official lead change. Both skaters racing around, looking to pick up their points before calling it. B Nasty decides, you know, I don't think I'm going to get my points before Tonka is also able to get their points, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it off. So that was a 4-0 jam in favor of Denver. We have Shook Me All Night on the line for Arc Valley and Yeety Bird for Denver. Denver is starting with one blocker in the box, and Arc Valley also has one blocker in the box. Sorry, folks, it's kind of hard to see the penalty box from where I'm standing. Yeety Bird at the front of the pack, trying to get through, and is now lead jammer, but there is another Denver blocker heading to the box. Shook Me All Night up at the front, fighting on the outside, has 2 to get by, and is able to get through, is eligible to pick up points, but Yeety Bird, I doubt, will let that happen, and they said, no, we will not let that happen. Yeety Bird calls that jam before Shook Me All Night able to get around and pick up any points there. Denver is now looking to extend their lead. They closed that gap, tied it up, and now are trying to pull away and create some space between them and Arc Valley. The score is now 37-38. We have Gremlin on the line for Denver and Track Sabbath for Arc Valley. Track Sabbath at the back of the pack against a 3-wall, while Gremlin up at the front also has a 3-wall to get by, finds room on the outside, is lead jammer, but Track Sabbath said, you might be lead jammer, but I'm right on you. I'm going to make you call this. There is an Arc Valley blocker in the box. Gremlin looking to find some quick space on that inside line, is not able to, calls it off. Neither jammers pick up any points in that jam. It's a big goose egg for both teams. But we still have 12 minutes left in this half, so there is still plenty of time to pick up those points. We have Blasphemous taking the line for Denver and Obsidian taking the line for Arc Valley. Seems like in the first part of this half, Denver was just really figuring out Arc Valley and their skate style, and now that they have figured that out, they are really capitalizing on it. They have been playing some great offense, as you can see right now happening. That Denver blocker helping Blasphemous get out. Blasphemous has had some very pretty toe stop work on the outside line to pick up lead jammer and get their points. They're now eligible to score points. Obsidian pushed to the outside line, still on their initial. Blasphemous has one more to get by, takes a hit to the inside line, decides to call it off. Let's see how many points they picked up. It looks like 4 points. So that extends their lead 41-28. Be Nasty on the line for Denver, and that is Ravage for Arc Valley. Looks like our penalty box is empty, so both teams start with all 4 blockers on the track. See, Ravage trying to find space on the outside line, but isn't able to. Sneaks by, but gets met with a 2-wall from Denver up at the front. Be Nasty stuck at the back, kind of stuck in this conglomerated pack. Now has a 3-wall at the front to get by. Finds room on the inside line. Be Nasty, now your lead jammer. There is an Arc Valley blocker heading to the box. And Ravage is out, is now eligible to score points. Denver gets out, gets their 4, and calls it. And like I said, folks, Arc Valley came here. They have a short bench. So the point spread that we're seeing now could be a result of maybe feeling a little tired and a little exhausted about going out every other jam, which it looks like that is what their team is currently doing. So hopefully after half they're able to rejuvenate and come out refreshed and able to take Denver on at full force. We have Yeety Bird on the line for Denver and Shook Me All Night for Arc Valley. But it is Yeety Bird who is lead jammer. But don't you worry, Shook Me All Night is right on their tail, looking to make Denver call this off. Arc Valley going to look to protect their points here before Denver calls it. Let's see how many points each jammer was able to pick up. Looks like Denver able to pick up 3 and none for Arc Valley. That makes this score 48-28. That is a 20-point difference in favor of Denver with 9 minutes left in this half. It is Tonka on the line for Arc Valley and Gremlin for Denver. Denver sucking back to Tonka. Tonka said, I don't care. I'm going to try to bulldoze right through you just like a Tonka truck. It is Gremlin. Gremlin has been established lead jammer, but got hit out and sucked to the back. And Gremlin was not aware that they had established lead and took the star off. So that means we have a 2-minute jam, folks. That is a 2-minute jam. The Denver pivot did take the star, and that is Savage Sunflower. So let's see how this jam plays out being a 2. Ooh! Savage Sunflower just taking a brutal hit from Tonka. Tonka head into the box. This is now a power jam for Savage Sunflower. Savage Sunflower has a 2-wall to get past. Looking for some O from their teammate. Does get it. Is out. Picks up 4 points. Oh, I'm sorry. That was their initial based off the ref's hand signals. Has a 3-wall at the front to get by. That's 4 points for Savage Sunflower. We have just about 20 seconds left in this jam. Remember, folks, we're going the full 2 minutes because Gremlin took that star off after being established as lead jammer. So now we have no lead jammer to call this jam off. It will run to its natural conclusion in just about 5 seconds. Tonka gets through, though, picks up 4 points, is not going to let this jam end without securing any points. That was a 8-7 jam in favor of Arc Valley. That brings a score 55-36 in favor of Denver with just about 6.5 minutes left in this half. We are going to start this jam with one Arc Valley blocker in the box. We have Track Sabbath on the line for Arc Valley and Blasphemous for Denver. And it looks like we are calling an official timeout. So you know what that means, folks. I am going to thank our favorite sponsors. We have Do It Not All By Yourself. Do you need help developing a website? Well, guess what? Do It Not All By Yourself can help. They provide web development services on a budget, and that doesn't suck. So if you want a website that doesn't suck, make sure to reach out to Do It Not All By Yourself. Also, would love to thank 300 Suns. They have a wide selection of drinkable craft beers and a comfortable Longmont brewery that inspires good conversation with good friends. You can stop by and pair their beer. They also have cider and wine and local canned cocktails. You can pair that with their scratch-made food inside 300 Suns. And if you want to bring your doggy along, they are welcome on the patio. Also, a huge, huge shout out to Spirit Hound Distillery. Spirit Hound embodies the passion of the new and the bold. It is inspired by curiosity and boundless optimism of dogs. Spirit Hounds are ardent seekers of purity, quality, and perhaps above all else, the best experiences life have to offer. So if you're like us, maybe you too have the same insatiable appetite for discovery. Also, don't forget, folks, we have a lot of games coming at you today. Right now, you are watching the Denver Arc Valley game, but at noon, you can tune in and watch Junction City versus the Boulder County Bolters. Ooh, I just saw a cartwheel on the track in skates. That is no easy feat, folks. So if you didn't see that, I'm sorry, but that was so cool. All right, like I said, at 12, you can tune back in for Junction City versus Boulder. Then we are going to have a long break, but you can come back at 4 o'clock, and you can watch the Denver play Los Alamos. And then at 6 o'clock, our final game of the day, it will be between Arc Valley and Boulder. So make sure, stay tuned in. We're going to be here all day with lots of roller derby. Make sure to tell your friends, tell your family, tune in, watch roller derby. We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. So, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in with us. Like I said, we are completely skater run. So if you would like to support us, we would greatly appreciate it. You can find our links to our merch, or just to donate here on our Twitch site. Also, if you have Amazon Prime and aren't subscribed, you can subscribe here for free using your Prime account, and that would just help support us even more. So if you have any questions, please just let us know, and we can help point you in the right direction. We are back, folks, to Derby. We have Blasphemous for Denver and Track Sabbath for Arc Valley. Blasphemous stuck at the front with a 3-wall, looking to get O from their teammate. Has one more to get by and is now lead jammer. Denver blocker heading to the box while Track Sabbath fights that 3-wall in the back. Almost had room on the outside, but took a fall and got sucked back into that pack. Track Sabbath getting recycled all the way to the back, while Blasphemous fighting at the front. One more to get by and does. That is 4 points on the board for Blasphemous in this jam. Track Sabbath able to get out, though, now eligible to score points, but I bet Blasphemous is going to try and get their points and then call it, and they do. That is 4 points on the board for Blasphemous and 0 for Arc Valley. We now have a 67 to 36 score in favor of Denver. We have just over 5 minutes left in this half, and we are going to a team timeout. I will say, looking at Ark Valley's bench, like I said, they're running short. They're skating with 10 skaters, and it looks like they are all self-run. I don't see a coach there, and I don't know if you've never played roller derby without a coach. It can be difficult to try and coordinate who is going out, who would be the best fit, because when you're on the track, you can't always tell everything that's going on. When you're trackside, you're able to watch, make decisions. So they are doing a heck of a job self-managing and just pretty much going out every other jam. So if you're here supporting Ark Valley, make sure to shout them out in the chat. If you're here supporting Denver, we love Denver too. They are killing it. I've seen some amazing offense from those Denver blockers, helping their jammers get out and secure those points. So shout out your favorite Denver players. We would love to hear from you. Again, my name is Ultra Ego. I will be with you the rest of this game. And it looks like the end of that team timeout, but the refs just called an official timeout. Looks like there's potentially some scorekeeping issues that they are resolving down there. Everyone's setting up on the track, but the jam timer is still over at the officials table. So you can't start a jam without a jam timer, unfortunately. So let's just hang out here a little bit more. I would like to thank some more of our sponsors. We have the Niwot Market. It's a family-owned and operated grocery store. It's established in 2002, and it's run by the Steele family. It's one of the few locally owned markets in the area. They offer a neighborhood feel, and they strive to always provide the best produce and meats for you and your family. Make sure to go and check them out and tell them that BCRD sent you. And I do see the jam timer heading back to the track, which means that we will resume roller derby here shortly. And the next whistle will end the timeout, which means the next whistle will start the jam.
You're doing great. Thanks. For the record, I have lower thirds for the donate numbers.
Oh, perfect. I thought there was
And I'm sure you talk about
Thank you so much. We have B Nasty on the with a star for Denver and Kiss of Death for Ark Valley. This is the first time I believe we've seen Kiss of Death with the star, but B Nasty is the one who is out and is lead jammer. Kiss of Death stuck at the back up against just a 2-wall, but all 4 Denver blockers are there causing issues for Kiss of Death. B Nasty is stuck up at the front against a 2-wall, but an Ark Valley blocker is heading to the box. I am curious to check in. At halftime, I will check in on penalties if I'm able to and relay that information to you because I do feel like this has been a penalty-heavy game. Kiss of Death is still stuck in the back of the pack. We have another Ark Valley blocker heading to the box. That only leaves 2 blockers on the track for Ark Valley. Kiss of Death still not out on their initial. B Nasty finding some quick space on the inside line, gets through, picks up 4 more points. The Ark Valley pivot, now able to take that star pass, was able to hit a Denver blocker out, allowing Kiss of Death to come in a little bit sooner than they would have. B Nasty fighting a 2-wall at the front, but Killer B not allowing B Nasty to get through. B Nasty just looking to spread this pack out and hope to spread the engagement zone. If you don't know, the engagement zone is essentially the zone where you are allowed to play roller derby. And after you get so far out from the pack, you can no longer touch that jammer. And so when you see jammers just pushing and pushing and pushing, that is them trying to spread out the pack and causing what is called a no pack or an out of play. And that will force the blockers to stop blocking them and they can just skate on. We have Yeedy Bird on the line for Denver and Tonka for Ark Valley. We have just under 3 minutes left in this game, or left in this half. I apologize. Let's see what they can do in this jam. Tonka coming through just like that Tonka truck and plowing over those blockers. Has a 3-wall to get by, but it is Yeedy Bird who gets out and is lead jammer. Tonka, though, able to push through and is now eligible to score points. Yeedy Bird gets through, picks up their 4, and calls the jam. That is going to extend Denver's lead 87-36. Just about 2 minutes left in this game. Now, there is a possibility this could be the last jam of the half. Kind of depends how this jam goes, but stay tuned, folks. After halftime, we'll be back for the second half of this game, and then come back about an hour later for another roller derby game. We'll be here all day. Tonka just running through, but unfortunately takes a stumble to the outside line, is getting recycled back, but Gremlin is also getting recycled back. That is Tonka as lead jammer. Gremlin getting recycled all the way back to the pack. Gremlin trying to find room on the inside line, but takes a hit to the inside. But unfortunately, due to that hit, Tonka also falls to the inside. I believe Gremlin just, picked up a track cut. So this is a power jam for Denver. Tonka said, get out of my way. I'm going to get my points. I'm going to really capitalize on this power jam. So that is 4 points on the board so far in this jam for Ark Valley. Tonka has a 2-wall at the front, just one more to get through, and does. That's 4 more points for Ark Valley. We do have a Denver blocker heading to the box. Denver jammer now standing in the box, so less than 10 seconds until that jammer rejoins this. Tonka is going to freeze Gremlin in the box. Tonka was able to pick up 8 points in that jam, bringing the score 12 points, 48-87. Gremlin is standing. I believe Gremlin only has a few seconds left in the box. So that means Ark Valley, and that's Track Sabbath, if they want to secure the lead, they will have to do it quickly. Denver does also have 2 blockers in the box, so it is doable. Track Sabbath just has to get through 2, but Gremlin is back out on the track. Gremlin has a 4-wall at the front. Track Sabbath facing off against 2 Denver blockers in the back. Gets through, is not lead jammer, but Track Sabbath is chasing Gremlin down. There's only 1 Denver blocker on the track at the moment. Track Sabbath taking a huge hit there to the outside. Just has 1 to get by and does. We still have 1 Denver blocker in the box, but there's also 1 Ark Valley blocker in the box. So both teams are now at the same blocker level there on the track. Gremlin has 1 more to get by, takes a hit to the inside, calls it off. Gremlin able to pick up 7 in that jam, and Ark Valley picks up 4. That means our score at halftime is 94-52 in favor of Denver. Again, my name is Ultra Ego. Thank you for being here with us. I will see you back here in about 14 and a half minutes for the second half of this showdown between Denver and Ark Valley. Thank you so much, folks. Welcome back, roller derby fans. We are about to start the second half of game 2. We are watching Denver versus Ark Valley. The current score is 94-52 in favor of Denver. We saw a tough first half here. Both teams pretty heavy on penalties and wasn't able to grab those penalty information, unfortunately, but definitely let's hope to see less penalties this half. I think if both teams can stay out of the penalty box, we'll see a higher scoring game or lower scoring game, depending on their play style. Just a reminder, folks, Ark Valley is here with 10 skaters. I was talking to some of them on the break. 10 skaters, no coach, and they've been without a practice space for the last month. So definitely show Ark Valley some love in the chat, but also Denver here doing their thing, and definitely cheer Denver on. I know we have some Denver people watching. So thank you so much for being here. We have Blasphemous on the line for Denver and Ark Valley from Shook Me All Night for Ark Valley. Sorry, folks, I can't talk this morning. Blasphemous got stuck in the back of the pack, so it is Shook Me All Night as lead jammer. But Blasphemous hot on their tail. It's not going to want to give up any points to Ark Valley. Shook Me All Night attempts an apex jump, incomplete. I think that's a 0-0 score for both teams on that jam. Don't forget, folks, shout out your favorite skaters. I see some of you in the chat. Pickle Smack, let's go. Heck yeah. Rodeo says, nothing stops a Tonka trunk. Ain't that true? Tonka has been mowing down these packs. So thank you so much for being here. Keep shouting out your favorite skaters. I know they will greatly appreciate it when they watch this back. We have Track Sabbath with the star for Ark Valley and Be Nasty for Denver. Track Sabbath takes a fall to the outside line, getting recycled all the way back. Be Nasty stuck at the front against a tough four wall. Track Sabbath tried to find some room on the outside line, not able to get through. Recycled back again, now has a 3-wall in the back. Be Nasty finding some room in between those blocker, gets out and is now lead jammer. Track Sabbath still stuck at the back of that pack. Might be looking to potentially take that star and pass it to their pivot, which I believe is Tonka. I do hear a whistle, which means somebody is heading to the box. And it looks like that is Track Sabbath heading to the box, but I don't know if they have the star with them or not. Track Sabbath is heading to the penalty box as the jammer. Be Nasty now has a power jam. Be Nasty is going to look to score as many points as they can on this power jam. Has one more to get through, really just digging in and pushing. Able to squeeze on by, picks up 4 more points. This is an 8-point jam so far for Be Nasty. Track Sabbath now standing in the box, will be able to rejoin in less than 10 seconds. And there it is, Track Sabbath back out on the box. Track Sabbath will need to grab that star back. Doesn't necessarily have to take it, but does need to touch it. There was an illegal star pass between Track Sabbath and Tonka. So Track Sabbath was still sorry, folks. Track Sabbath was still the jammer there. So when Track Sabbath re-entered onto the track, they just needed to touch the star. They didn't even necessarily have to take it. We are starting this jam with 1 Denver blocker in the box. Ravage taking the start for Ark Valley, and I believe that is Yeety Bird, yep, for Denver. Denver does have a pack disadvantage in this jam. Like I said, there is 1 in the box, and that is the pivot. But Yeety Bird doesn't need their pivot. Yeety Bird is through and is lead jammer. Ravage saying, though, I'm not going to go quietly. I'm also out of the pack. I'm about half a track behind. Yeedy Bird fighting in the back. Just decides to call the jam before Ravage is able to pick up any points. That is a 0-0 jam. But Denver has reached that century mark. Score is now 106-52. All right, Gremlin on the line for Denver and Track Sabbath back out there for Arc Valley. Denver pivot still in the box, but is standing, so will be re-entering the track less than 10 seconds. Track Sabbath with a nice little move on the outside there, able to get out is Lead Jam. Gremlin taking a huge hit to the outside, sees that the blocker they hit also went out, but did not be able to get out in front of them, is recycled back, trying to find room on the inside, gets hit in once again. Now has a tough 4-wall to get past, but Track Sabbath also stuck against a 3-wall up at the front, trying to get help from their teammate to push them through, but is not able to. Track Sabbath kind of just stuck in a conglomerate of Denver blockers, decides to call that jam. That is, let's see here, how many points for Arc Valley? I see 4 fingers in the air, so that is a 4-0 jam. So that brings the score 106-56. That is a 50-point spread in favor of Denver. Thank you so much for being here with us, folks. Just a reminder, my name is Ultra Ego. I'm going to be here with you this game, and I'll actually be with you next game as well, so make sure to stay tuned. We are going to see Junction City versus the Bolters next. And it is Blasphemous and Ravage on the line. Blasphemous took a big hit to the outside, and that allowed Ravage to get right on through and pick up Lead Jammer. Blasphemous has one more to get through, doesn't, but sees that that blocker also went out, which means that they don't have to go behind them. Takes another hit to the outside, though. Ravage tried to find some room on the inside, kind of went out, but decides to call it. Picks up 2 points before calling that jam. We have Be Nasty with the star for Denver and Track Sabbath for Arc Valley. Honk Yeah, is that for, who is Honk Yeah for? Dapo 2004? Let us know who exactly you're cheering for. Be Nasty up at the front has a 3-wall to get by. Track Sabbath getting recycled back. Takes a hit to the infield. Fighting that 3-wall. We have some bridging going on here, allowing that 3-wall at the front to continue to hold Be Nasty. Looks like we have a multiplayer assist on a Denver blocker. That gives Arc Valley a pack advantage. Track Sabbath was on her way out of the pack, but actually runs right into Be Nasty and falls on the inside, kind of gets sucked back in, and now is facing a 3-wall at the back. Be Nasty had 2 to get by and does. Be Nasty is your lead jammer. That was a 48-second before lead jam was called. And let me tell you, folks, as a jammer, that is a long time to fight for lead jammer. They made it all the way to turn 3 before establishing lead jammer. That means they have some very tough walls out there. Track Sabbath picking up a cut and is heading the long way to the penalty box. This is now a power jam for Be Nasty, and it's actually going to be a longer power jam than normal, as I don't think Track Sabbath realized they had gone out right in front of the penalty box and they skated all the way around the track, and your penalty time does not start until you sit your butt in that chair. So if you take a long time to get to that penalty box, that is every second that your team is without you on the track. Be Nasty fighting up against a 3-wall up at the front. They don't bridge soon. They're going to have an out of play, and it does look like they do. And we have the Arc Valley pivot heading to the box. Denver calls that freezing Track Sabbath in the box as well as the pivot. So Denver is not only going to start with a pack advantage, but also a power jam. Denver gets to go up with this jam without another jammer and down a blocker for Arc Valley. So let's see if they are able to get out quickly before Track Sabbath is able to rejoin on the track, as Track Sabbath is standing, meaning they will be released in less than 10 seconds. Yeedy Bird getting a running start and is able to get through, picks up lead jammer just as Track Sabbath is rejoining on the track there. Track Sabbath just has 2 more to get by, is pushing, has got sucked back into a 3-wall. Yeedy Bird says, watch out, I'm coming through, finds room on the inside, picks up 4 points for Denver. Telepath, thank you so much for being here, and honk yeah, Denver. That is a Denver blocker heading to the box, and looks like Track Sabbath heading back to the box as well. So this is now a power jam for Yeedy Bird. Yeedy Bird already has 8 points on this jam, facing a 4-wall, but will definitely be looking for offense from their teammates as this is a power jam. Arc Valley is not giving up easily, though. They said, you might have 4 blockers to help with defense, but we don't care. We're going to hold you. But Yeedy Bird eventually able to push through, secures 4 more points. Track Sabbath back out on the track now. Power Jam has officially ended. Yeedy Bird trying to tiptoe on the inside but isn't able to. Gets recycled all the way to the back of the pack. Yeedy Bird fighting against a 2-wall in the back. Pushing through. Track Sabbath heading back to the box. That is 3 in just the first part of this half. Yeedy Bird through, calls the jam. That is going to freeze Track Sabbath in there. That means Denver is going to start with another power jam. Arc Valley might want to potentially take a timeout and talk and kind of regroup, because these jammer penalties are really killing them. Having power jam after power jam really just gives Denver all the opportunity to continue to extend their lead. The score is now 130-60. Gremlin has a star for Denver, while Track Sabbath is stuck in that box, still sitting, probably has about 20 seconds left to serve on their penalty. Gremlin up at the front, fighting a 3-wall. Is established lead jammer, but got sucked back. And Arc Valley blocker now heading to the box. Gremlin is through, is lead jammer. Track Sabbath now re-entering the track. Track Sabbath does still need to complete their initial, so is not eligible to score. Does have the star off, might be looking to pass to, I believe that is Ravage. There was a completed pass. Ravage now working to get out. Takes a hit to the inside. Gremlin's coming around looking to get another 4 points. Meets a 3-wall there at the front. Trying to spin around them and does. That is 4 more points for Denver. Ravage trying to find room on the outside or the inside line, but just runs into a tough wall there. Vagician just being right in the way. Ravage not able to get through. Gremlin working on their 3rd scoring pass, kind of does a little side surf backwards there, not able to find that room on the outside line. Just has 1 more to get by. Takes a stumble, decides to call it as Ravage has gotten out and was coming around on their 1st scoring pass. That was a 12-point jam for Denver. That brings the score 142-60. We have just about 16 minutes left in this game, folks. Stick around. We have lots of derby coming at you. We have Tonka on the line for Arc Valley and Blasphemous for Denver. Watch Tonka. That skater is a definitely a Tonka trunk. Just says, get out of my way, and just pushes, pushes, pushes. Check them out at the front there, able to draw that pack out and get through, and Tonka is lead jammer. Blasphemous stuck at the back, has the star off, might be looking to pass to their pivot. We have an Arc Valley blocker heading to the box. Tonka said, get out of my way. I want these 4 points. Gets them, but Blasphemous is out with the star back on. Tonka might be looking to play a little defense there on Blasphemous. Little jammer on jammer action maybe, but Blasphemous isn't really having any. Tonka trying to squeeze in some points while blocking Blasphemous, was able to. Tonka picked up 1 point there while Blasphemous secured 0. That brings the score to 65 to 142. We have Shook Me All Night taking the star for Arc Valley and Be Nasty for Denver. And let me tell you folks, yesterday I was up against Be Nasty in the mixer, and that is one tough jammer. So definitely watch Be Nasty here do some amazing jammer things. You can see Be Nasty up at the front, has a 3-wall to get by, just pushing, pushing, pushing. Has 2-wall to get by. Shook Me All Night in the back against a 4-wall. Be Nasty is through, is lead jammer. We have another Arc Valley blocker heading to the box, as well as a Denver blocker. Shook Me All Night also out, about half a track behind Be Nasty. Be Nasty trying to find some quick space on the outside, is not able to, calls that jam off. Let's see if they secured any points. Does not seem like it. That was a 0-0 score. Thank you again, folks, for being here with us today. Don't forget, BCRD is completely skater run. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. So if you want to help us out, you can buy our merch, donate. We'll have QR codes here on the screen for you. Definitely help keep us playing roller derby. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And it is Yeedy Bird as lead jammer. Tonka trunk, though. Tonka on the line, or I'm sorry, I can't talk anymore. Tonka chasing down Yeedy Bird. Yeedy Bird has a 2-wall to get by. Tonka has a 3-wall and just flies right through them. Tonka is no joke, folks. That was a 4-1 jam. Denver picking up 4, Arc Valley picking up 1. All right, on the line for Denver, we have Blasphemous and Shook Me All Night for Arc Valley. We do have an Arc Valley blocker in the box. So Blasphemous only has 3 to get through. It's getting some O from their pivot, but takes a hit to the inside. Is getting a track cut and getting sent to the box. So that means Shook All Night got out and is now lead jammer. This is a power jam for Arc Valley. Let's see how they're able to capitalize on this. This is a great opportunity for them to close that gap in the score. Shook Me All Night doing a little hop to try and get around on the outside. Takes a little fall, just has a 2-wall, trying so hard to stay in, getting kind of sucked back in, not receiving much O, but did get some from their pivot. Still takes that hit to the inside. Finds some potential room on the inside, but takes a huge hit there. And folks, I do believe we are about to take a medical timeout. Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Thank you for bearing with us through that timeout. We are ending that timeout, and we have skaters on the track. Let's see, it looks like B Nasty for Denver, and that is, let's see, who is that for Arc Valley? That is Kiss of Death. We have just about 12 minutes left in this game. Score is 149-70. Kiss of Death stuck at the back against a Denver 4-wall, while B Nasty fighting against 2 up at the front. B Nasty looking to spread that pack out. Only has 1 to get by, and does. B Nasty is your lead jammer. Kiss of Death still stuck in that 3-wall, or I'm sorry, that 4-wall. Takes a tumble in the back. B Nasty took a hit to the inside, is being recycled by Tonka. Kiss of Death still stuck against a 4-wall in the back. This pack is spreading out. We do have some bridging going on. Oh, and look at that beautiful star pass. Ravage is now jammer for Arc Valley. B Nasty's going to call that. B Nasty picking up 4 points in that jam. Brings our score 153-70. Track Sabbath taking the start for Arc Valley, and I believe that is Yeety Bird for Denver. Penalty box is empty. We are starting this as a full pack for both teams. Looks like Track Sabbath in the back trying to get a running start before hitting that tough Denver wall. But Yeety Bird says, I'm going to get out before you have a chance. Finds room on the outside line and is lead jammer. Denver blocker heading to the box, while Track Sabbath finding some room on the outside with some help from her offense, and is out and now eligible to score points. Yeety Bird going to look to pick up some points before calling this, I assume. Nope. Yep, they are going to call it. Track Sabbath not able to pick up any points, while Yeety Bird picked up, I believe, 8. Could be wrong. Could be 4. It's 4. Blasphemous on the line for Denver, and that is Tonka for Arc Valley. Denver is down a blocker as there is 1 sitting in the box, so Tonka will just have to push through that 3-wall, while Blasphemous has a 4-wall to get through. Tonka said, get out of my way. I am going to be lead jammer here, and is. Blasphemous still fighting, but finds space on the outside. Tonka slamming into that pack. Going to pick up 4 points and call it before Blasphemous is able to get around and pick up any points. Track Sabbath on the line for Arc Valley, and B Nasty for Denver. Arc Valley has 1 blocker in the box, so they will start with 3 on the track. Denver trying to play some quick offense there on the inside. Not able to quite move that pack. We got B Nasty fighting up at the front against a 3-wall, while Track Sabbath is in the back against a 4-wall. B Nasty trying to spread this pack out. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but that is something I've noticed B Nasty does really well, does really good about spreading that pack out, and able to force them to give up before securing lead jam. And that is exactly what they did here. But Track Sabbath is not far behind, about a quarter of a track. So B Nasty is going to have to quickly get these points if they want to keep Track Sabbath scoreless, and they do. I think that is 4 points on the board for B Nasty, and it is. That brings the score 161-74 in favor of Denver. We still have 7.5 minutes left in this game. We have Tonka Trunk taking the line for Arc Valley, and Yeety Bird for Denver. Both teams have a full pack, so no one's in the box. Tonka Truck says, get out of my way. I'm going to get lead jammer. Yeedy Bird with a nice sneaky little pass to their pivot there. Looks like Red Rover is now the jammer for Denver. Tonka Truck going to quickly try to get through. But Red Rover, I think, picked up some points there. Nope, they did not. But Ark Valley did pick up 2. Guys, I love watching Tonka Truck jam. It's a very different jam style than me. I cannot push people like that. So when I see people do it, I get very jealous. We have Shook Me All Night on the line for Ark Valley and Blasphemous for Denver. Both jammers trying to take that inside line. But it was Blasphemous who was able to get through, but is stuck up at the front against a 3-wall, while Shook Me All Night is fighting in the back against a 4-wall. Blasphemous taking a hit to the out, but was able to stay in and is now lead jammer, while Shook Me All Night is getting recycled all the way to the back of the pack. Blasphemous has 1 more to get by. Takes a hit, but stays in, picks up 4 points. Shook Me All Night still fighting in the back, has 1 more to get through, runs into their own teammate, takes a fall, gets sucked back into the pack. And let me tell you, folks, running into your own blocker is the saddest thing. So let's show Shook Me All Night some love. If you play roller derby, you've been there. You know how demoralizing that is. Blasphemous coming through, looking to pick up 4 more points. Runs into a tough wall there, falls down, but is back up and ready to go. And it looks like Shook Me All Night is heading to the penalty box as the jammer. This is now a power jam for Denver. Blasphemous through for 4 more points. And Ark Valley is down to 3 blockers as a Ark Valley blocker just headed to the box. Blasphemous just kind of skating through, trying to do a little juke there. Gets by, has 1 more to get by, and does. That is 4 more points on the board for Blasphemous. Shook Me All Night now out of the penalty box, fighting against that 4-wall in the back, while Blasphemous coming around, has a 3-wall in the front, squeezes through on the outside. Shook Me All Night going to look to their team to get some offense before Blasphemous gets back around, but is not able to. And that is the end of that jam, folks. We had a 2-minute jam there. And that was a 20-point jam for Denver. That extends their lead 181 to 76 with just 4.5 minutes left in this game. We only have 2 or 3 jams left in this game, folks. Make sure to let the teams know that you are here supporting them. Shout out your favorite skaters, your favorite teams. We would love to hear from you. We have Tonka on the line for Ark Valley and Be Nasty for Denver. Tonka taking a hit to the inside, not able, or to the outside, not able to get out. But back in there, trying to just mow down these packs, and does. Tonka is lead jammer. Be Nasty still trying to push, has 2 more to get by. It's going to try and spread that pack out. Tonka coming around, going to hit that wall. It's just pushing them right out of their way. Has 1 more to get by, does. Decides to call that before Be Nasty is able to get around and score any points. That brings a score 80 to 181. We have Gremlin taking the start for Denver, and it looks like Ark Valley is going to be calling a team timeout. So I would love to thank some of our sponsors during this time. If that's okay with you guys, not that you have a choice, but thank you for being here with us while I tell you about our wonderful sponsors. Thank you so much to Long Peaks Pub. Mountain Sun has been serving up craft beer, great food, and good vibes since opening their first pub in Pearl Street in 1993. Long Peaks Pub, their Longmont spot, has been open since 2014. They carry on the tradition with jumbo wings, burgers, wood fire pizza, hand-cut fries, and plenty of gluten-free and vegan and vegetarian options. They have 21 Mountain Sun ales on tap. They have a dog-friendly patio and their own seltzers. Long Pink's Pub is just downtown in Longmont. Make sure to check them out. And if you go this weekend, so if you go today, just mention Boulder County Roller Derby, and you'll get either a free 5-ounce beer taster or a small French fry for your table. Also like to thank Hoplark. Hoplark is non-alcoholic craft brews, teas, and waters, hopped and crafted like beer. All the hoppy flavor without the calories, sugar, or alcohol. They're gluten-free, alcohol-free, keto-friendly, vegan, non-GMO. They're clean and simple ingredients, and they've won a numerous amount of Best New Beverage awards. You can try today. It is available at our bar if you plan on joining us later today. Head over to our bar to try out Hoplark. And it looks like we are ending this time out here. We have Gremlin with a start for Denver and Obsidian for Arc Valley. After this game, we will have a short break, but then we will be back to watch Junction City versus the Boulder County Bolters. 5 seconds till this jam starts. All right, and that's Obsidian, who gets out quickly on that inside line, is now lead jammer. But Gremlin not far behind, about a quarter of a track, and is going to chase down Obsidian. Obsidian's going to look to try to secure some points before calling this jam. That was a beautiful move by Obsidian to get out, a little skating backwards. Ooh, okay. Gremlin heading to the box on a cut. This is now a power jam for Arc Valley, but I do believe, yep, Obsidian also picked up a cut. Obsidian took a fall there. I think Obsidian thought that they had kept their skates off the ground, but they did not. So Gremlin is back out on the track, and this is what my old team would call a shenana jam, apparently trademarked by Kimbo Slicer of Circle City Roller Derby. That is what happens when one jammer goes to the box, and while that jammer is in the box, the other jammer picks up a penalty and also goes to the box. And what that means is when the second jammer goes to the box and the first jammer is released, however long they sat, that is how long the other jammer has to sit. So if Gremlin only sat for 10 seconds, that means Obsidian also only had to sit for 10 seconds. Both jammers are back out on the track. We do have Shook Me All Night as a blocker in the box for Arc Valley. There was a star pass from Obsidian. We are also going to be going the full 2 minute here, folks, as Obsidian was lead jammer, and because of that penalty, they lost the lead jammer status, so we will go the full 2 minutes. We have just about 10 seconds left. Gremlin gets through, picks up 4 points. We have a Denver blocker heading to the box. Ravage is now the jammer for Arc Valley, but that is the whistle to end the jam. That's a 16-point jam for Denver and an 8-point jam for Arc Valley. That brings the score 197-88. Denver might be able to hit that 200 mark by the end of this game, as we have 55 seconds. Now, this will likely be our last jam, but, you know, whenever I say that, that means we'll get another jam. So we will just have to see. We have Goose on the line for Arc Valley. I believe this is the first time we're seeing Goose jam, and we have Yeety Bird for Denver. Yeety Bird in the back up against a 3-wall, but it is Goose who is established lead jammer, but unfortunately takes a fall, gets sucked back into the pack. And Goose did not realize that they were lead jam and took the star off. So that means we have another 2 minute jam, folks. So Goose did hand the star off to their pivot, Killer B. Yeety Bird got through for 4 points. Killer B gonna come around. Killer B has a 3-wall up at the front. Tried to find room on the inside. Does get pushed out. It's getting recycled back there. Has 2 to get past, but Denver's rejoined by their friends. Has 4, does get through. Killer B picks up 4 points. Yeety Bird stuck in the back of that tough 4-wall there from Arc Valley. Killer B going to look to maybe go on the outside where her team is to avoid Denver. We have another Denver blocker heading to the box. Yeety Bird gets recycled all the way back by Tonka. Killer B is through for another 4 points. We have 26 seconds left in this jam and in this game. Don't forget, shout out your favorite skaters, your favorite teams. Let them know you were here watching them live on Twitch. Let's make sure, folks, that these skaters feel loved and appreciated and supported, because let me tell you, what they're doing out there is so extremely hard, and they are killing it. Every single one of them have done amazing. Arc Valley hits that century mark, and Denver hits that 200 mark. That is the end of game 1 for today. We have 3 more games coming at you. We have an unofficial score of 205 to 100. Let's see. The officials will talk, confirm, and we will get an official score in just a moment. Before that happens, I want to tell you what our schedule looks like for the rest of the day. Our next game is going to be at noon, and that is going to be between Junction City and Boulder County. Then at 4 o'clock, you will see Denver Roller Derby facing off against Los Alamos. And the last game of the day is going to be Arc Valley versus Boulder. Make sure to stay tuned. We will be here all day with Roller Derby, and we do have an official score. It is 205 to 100. That means Denver is taking home this win today. And I will see you back here in about an hour, folks. Thank you so much.